I'm happy that y'all seeing me in this state because it's only up from here, okay? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Anytime Anywhere podcast. We're your live and hear anything at any given time. I am your host, Jaleesa'Kayla. Welcome back, or welcome to, if this is your first time tuning in. Did I say that already? It's cold as fuck outside, okay? the brain is a little scrambled. Somebody say, these two oldest men was talking this morning, and one man was like, it sure is cold outside. People just make small talk. Mind you, I despise small talk. Somebody, you got to go through God to talk to me. No, really, small talk makes me itch, okay? And I wash up with the finest of lotions, and I moisturize down with the finest butters, but something about small talk just makes me itch. If you don't have anything to say, it's no pressure for me. I'm someone who can thrive in quiet, okay? I can thrive in peace. It doesn't have to be awkward, okay? Anyways, these two men were talking, and the one guy was like, it sure is cold outside. He says this to everybody every day, okay? When I'm present, I hear this man say it to everybody every day. And you know, it's just his way of breaking the ice. And the one guy let the beat build for a bit, and he was like, I was always told, my mama told me this was eye-opening weather. And they started, and they old man fast. You know how old men talk. But it really is like eye-opening weather. This shit it's either going to open your eyes, scramble your brain, or, you know, just make you hurry. Make you put a pep in your step, okay? Because who wants to be out here playing? Unless you're really bundled down, like Freeway say, yo, niggas better bundle up. Unless you're bundled down, there's no way you're comfortable out here. Like, there's no way. Or unless, again, you just thrive in cold weather. Me, however, this is my last winter, okay? Yeah, I wanted to come on here today. First of all, I recorded one video. No. So, this is my second time back. So, hey, y'all. I recorded earlier and I just found myself needing to do it over again, okay? However, the message today is going to be a little bit of channeled, a little bit of as I talk to you, it will come out. You will get to. This is why my shit be like an hour or something long. I just play too much. Straight to the point. I used to be someone who got straight to the point. I wonder where that went. I have some ideas about why it can be a challenge sometimes to communicate in that way, to get straight to the point, but we'll touch on that later. However, I just got finished listening to Chris Cavallari, and I hadn't seen her come across my timeline on YouTube in months, okay? Like, shit, probably a year and a little change now that I think about it. And she was someone, she's from my hometown, you know, she's a Philly girl like me, and she's someone who gives very great insight, very great advice. Like, if she has a channeled message, she's gonna deliver it, and she's gonna get it. Listen, she's gonna give it to you straight cut. I just love her delivery. I love her intuitiveness. I love how she shares her journey in life and the way that she delivers the message and communicates with, you know, the collective. I appreciate it so much. And like I said, her being from my city just makes it that much more special to me, because often we look to others who look like us, who sound like us, who experience similar things, you know, that we've experienced in this lifetime. So having somebody like her, chef's kiss. She is a mother, but she is so many other things outside of being a mother. So, you know, her fashion, listen, one of my top, okay, when it comes to the fashion world, I've been gifted with the experience of going to one of her content studios, because she has a content studio here in the city. I tagged along with a friend of mine, with a past friend of mine, who was invited to his friend's photo shoot for his clothing brand. And because he knew that I, you know, am into those things, he was like, hey, why don't you come with me? And when I went, it happened to be her content creation studio, and she was there, and I was a little starstruck. You know, people probably be thinking like, oh, what the fuck is this girl looking at? You know, she's the bitch, you know, or we're in Philly, so you know, you don't want to be too Joe. Oh, I'll be like, fuck all that. Like, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna do me. Yeah, that's one thing about it. I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna do me. Yes, especially in this new life, in this more curated, intentional life that I'm living. I'm gonna be me, hands down. So when I seen her, she probably was like, she could probably tell I was a little Star Trek, but I was like, hi, and she was sweet. She said hi back, you know, whatever. I think she was with her sister. But anyways, check her out, Chris Cavallari. Her podcast is called Is It Tuesday? Great person. By way of social media, and just having that brief encounter with her, you know, she could be any way she wants to be. Like I said, when I met her, she was kind. So that's all I can say about her, and being blessed with her presence in person. I hate to use the word blessed, but for lack of better terms, really, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what in the actual fuck are you doing? Yes, like, cause what? You could have sped up. I don't know, y'all. People don't know how to drive. This is often. Anyways, just got finished listening to her podcast after not seeing her for almost a year. Probably was a little over a year. But she always gives great insight, always gives great advice. I look to women like her who have lived a certain amount of life and who have achieved certain things. Kind of in like a mentory way, you know. I'm grateful that YouTube exists and we get to see other people's lives, well, at least with what they share, especially for those of us who want to learn, who, you know, a message may not be for you, but it's going to be for somebody. So I appreciate those people who still continue to live out loud and who continue to share their growth and their experiences with the collective, because again, you're exposing yourself to so many people. However, you know that the cause is greater than you. Today is Friday and people just, yeah, like, what? It's the journey is so much bigger than you, you know. Even with me and my podcast, before I get on the message of what she said, and it took her 10 minutes, okay, to get the point across. That's what I love. That's what I aspire to be, okay? To be clear, cut, dry, straightforward, with love and compassion and with reason, but straight to the point, okay? All this hour-long, you know, giving examples, beating around the bush. There's nothing wrong with giving examples and being very talkative and lengthy. And I think for me, it was because I've been in such solitude and I don't really share with a lot of people. Once I get on here, I just be out of the mouth. I just want to chat and talk. It's also helping me clear out and unblock my throat chakra. So again, if it's too much for you or you can't get with it, then I understand, you know. Peace. See you later. What was I gonna say? That's another thing about being chatty. You forget sometimes what you. Oh yeah, before I touch on what her message was, I'll talk a little bit about myself and how it all, you know, marries and merges together. Speaking of sharing your experiences and yourself with the world, no matter what it looks like and how it looks, her video, well, I'm gonna be going back and forth, jumping back and forth between what her video was about and my own personal experience and how it ties it together. So her video was titled, let me back up even more, it's okay. those who are meant to listen and stick around will listen and stick around. Take your time. It's Friday, and with me starting my day, and often, not just today, but often, I'll ask the Most High Mother and Father to send me a channeled message. Send me a message that I need to hear in this moment, you know, that will propel me into my next phase, or that will follow me through the rest of my day and just center me and keep me grounded, keep me accountable, just something to keep on my mind and something that I need to hear. It could be anything. And often the Most High will send me a song or send me a message through a social media post. Somebody might post something. It might be a short clip, or it It might be a sign on a billboard, or it might be a message on the side of a bus, or some other type of marketing creation outside of social media that I might see. It might come by way of like license plates. It comes at the most intricate and unique times and in the most unique ways. Sometimes it's instant, you know, like if, say for instance, sometimes I'll ride in silence for a couple hours just to collect my own thoughts and to have my own thoughts, right? And I'm gonna have to stop soon, but I'm gonna check back in with y'all in a minute. But yeah, like I'll be riding in silence for some time, and then I'll get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to listen to music. Most of the time that's after 12 noon. I don't allow myself to listen to secular music before 12. If I listen to any type of music, it's classical music, solfeggio tunes, however you pronounce that. It's some type of frequency. It's something along the lines of that. It's water sounds, nature sounds, bird sounds. I don't listen to any secular music before 12 noon. So after 12, if I'm in the mood, I'll say, you know, Most High. If I'm not channeling a song, like in the early AM, sometimes I'll hear songs and I'm like, I'm listening to that. Once 12 o'clock hit, I'm listening to that song. Not to just get it out my head, but to also see if there's a message in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not perfect. I still listen to shit that got cursing, that talk about drug dealing and you know, all of that. Sometimes you need warrior spirit music. You need shit that's gonna get you hype. You know, I'm not whatever you think a spiritualist or somebody that's on the right path is supposed to look like. Remove me from that, okay? Far from perfect, far from super cute and compact and, you know, just nice and neat. In a lot of things I am that, but in a lot of ways I'm not that, okay? So don't hold me to that, because I don't hold myself to that, okay? I just be me genuinely. But yeah, like I'll ask the Most High to send me a song if I'm not already channeling a song. And as soon as I turn the music on, I trust that whatever song comes up, that's the song I'm supposed to listen to. But other times it doesn't come right in that moment. Like I'll ask the Most High, give me a message that you want me to have in this moment, or that'll bring me some type of peace, or that'll give me some direction if I've posed a specific question about something. And it may come later, you know, if I'm aware and I'm listening out and I'm looking for signs, not like super pressed about it, but just remaining open and making sure I'm remaining aware throughout my day. It'll come eventually. So when I posed a question, Chris's video didn't pop up until like maybe like an hour later. I wanted it for right then and there, but as I was scrolling and looking around, nothing came up. So I just dropped it, and I told myself, you know, when the message is supposed to come through, it'll come through. So I got in the car, I was getting ready to start my day, and I was looking for something to listen to, and she popped up. And I was like, damn, I ain't seen her in a minute. And then when I looked at how long ago she posted the video, it had been a month ago. So I'm like, damn, like this ain't even something that, you know, I mean, it's new to me, because I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't seen her in over a year on my social media platforms. But you know, for the collective, this already been out, but this is what I needed to hear, because it was titled, and I'm not giving it verbatim, but it was titled like back to where I began, or taking it back to the basics, or back to where it all began, or something along the lines of that, right? Just basically getting back to the basics, getting back to how we started, okay? And she was in the video in her car, and she was just explaining how when she first started her podcast, she would record however she could, wherever she could. Most of the time it would be in her car or at her desk at her then 9 to 5. This is horrible. Parking. Honey, I'm not parking inside there. But yeah. She was recording in her car or at her desk at her 9 to 5. And she was just saying how a lot of times we want things to be perfect. We want to wait into we have the best setup and all the bells and whistles to produce what we feel like we need to produce in the way that we feel like we need to produce it. And the message was 10 minutes long. When I say she gets straight to the point, she gets straight to the fucking point. I think I mentioned that already, but I need to specify that. And it hit me because even in this moment, like, I thought I wasn't going to come on here live on my podcast until I was able to record in a content studio. And here I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just took that message and it really aligned with me, because again, if the Most High says move, you need to move. And I'm speaking to myself in this moment, like, you need to move. Not only do you need to move, but you need to move intentionally. And that's always been, that was something in the past that was a hindrance for me, because I used to second guess myself, like, oh, well, if it doesn't look like how I thought it was supposed to look, I feel like I'm getting this nudge and this message to move, or to do this, or to do that, or be this way, or to address this person, or do this thing. But if it doesn't look how I envision it, what's the point of dreaming? What's the point of coming up with these visions if it doesn't look like how I think it should look yet? Why am I getting these notions to move? Why am I getting this feeling to act on these ideas if it doesn't look like how I think it's supposed to look? If it doesn't look how it looks for other successful people, you know what I'm saying? And her message was just basically like, before I had all the bells and whistles, she didn't say bells and whistles, but I'm just saying, before she had all the bells and whistles, before she was recording in this big content room and had her own studio and had people that she could pay to edit and do these things, she was recording in her car. She was giving the message however she needed to give the message, and she put it out because there's somebody waiting for it. There's people that you need to touch. There's people that you need to get across to. There's things that you task and goals that you need to complete in order for you to get to the next position in life, in the next phase in life. And I'm like, damn, like, she always just, no matter what she drops, she's gonna drop some fucking heat. She's gonna drop some jewels, and she's gonna do it in the most fashionable way. Like, when I say eat down, okay? And for me, like I said, case in point, I thought my first time being live, showing my face in my current state, was going to be at a studio. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna be cute. I wasn't gonna be all bundled up. Y'all niggas better bundle up. It's so cold. I didn't think I was gonna come to y'all like this. But when the Most High says move, and you feel compelled to move, you gotta move. I recorded this video once already, and I didn't say half the same shit that I'm saying now, so here it is again, and here it is better. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and extend that to somebody else who may not follow Chris, or who may be in a space and time in life where you feel like things don't look exactly how you envision them, so it's not the right time to move. You may not feel 100% about how you're showing up, but you feel called to move. You may not feel like you have everything financially or materialistically or internally to deliver the message, but who you're supposed to reach, you will reach. Who you're supposed to appeal to, you will appeal to. The people who you're supposed to give the message to, and who will really internalize it and accept it and appreciate it, are going to look past your physical form. They're going to look past you stuttering over words. They're going to look past, and when I say I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to myself, because like I said, my whole thing with Chris and people like her is, damn, they can just get the message out just clean and clear in under fucking 10 minutes. Oh, the Level Up Guru, she's somebody else that I listen to. I was just talking about all the women that I listen to and I look to for direction, and who give like very profound and prophetic messages, and who I align with, okay? And I take things with a grain of salt. Like, I integrate it into my own believing too. I just don't, cling to these other women's philosophies and not have my own. But it does help shape my way of thinking and give me new perspectives and ways to view things, But I'm getting choked up, and like I said, I'm talking to myself because I thought I had to show up perfect, being the oldest and being someone who always felt like I had to have things together and felt like I always had to show up in a certain way in order to be received and appreciated, because that's how others took to me in the past. On this new journey, on this redirection, listen, fuck all that, okay? Like, who you're meant for is who you're meant for. Like I said, they're gonna look past your physical form. They're gonna look past what you lack compared to others, even though we lack nothing. I don't lack anything, and I would advise you to feel that way about yourself too as soon as possible. Like, you lack nothing. You have everything that you need. A lot of times we want to overcompensate for the things that we feel like we don't have, and then we end up not utilizing the shit anyway, or we don't utilize it in the right way, or we don't utilize it as often as we should for how much we pay for it, or how much we sacrifice for it, or how much we've given up, whether it's through cash or ass or whatever. Like, your energy, your time, your space. A lot of times we don't utilize those things that we acquire and that we take on and attach to. That shit just sits there and rots. And the whole time, the message, the energy, the thing that is needed is within you. You were born with everything that you needed. Every day you step outside your house, you got to speak power and safety and protection over your life. Like, I have everything that I need. A better camera is not gonna... Now, for some people, they might be like, oh, this camera is shitty. Like, I don't want to look at you like this. Like, listen, it's going to be for who it's going to be for. Okay. I'm happy that y'all seeing me in this state because it's only up from here. Okay? I'm definitely... Tomorrow's Saturday. Today is Friday. I didn't even start this podcast, I feel like, how I normally do. However, it's still me. It's very much so still me. And I got to get going. But I just wanted to share that message with you. You know, if you're somebody who is watching this and you just feel like you're not where you want to be, but you feel a pull, you feel a calling on your life, you feel like you're destined for greatness, you feel like there's something that you should be doing, but you feel like you're not ready. If you're feeling a nudge and a push, there's something higher above you that's pushing you for a reason. That's really in control. When we think we're in control, we're not fully in control. We're in partnership. Okay, I'm in partnership with the Most High. I gotta move. I gotta check in with my partner, and if my partner say it's time to go, then I just gotta take a couple deep breaths and trust that with reason. Okay, continue to check in with yourself. Not just saying just jump out there and be all crazy, but it is important for certain chosen people to take risks and to just do it, because a lot of things, start to unfold when you just take that chance, when you just listen. You open yourself up more and you stop holding yourself back. You stop waiting around for people. You stop waiting around for you to catch up with the future you. I asked myself the other day, future me, like, check in with me, yo. Like, what do I need to be doing? You know, whisper in my ear and tell me what it is that I need to do in order to catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to continue to be 20, 100, a million steps in front of me, so that I'm not chasing you, but I'm continuing to align. You know what I'm saying? And continuing to move in that direction. Growth is not linear. However, when it's time to move, it's time to move. It's not going to look cute and well packaged, and you're not going to have the best equipment, you're not going to have the best clothes all the time, you're not going to show up with the brightest skin and the most clearest, you know, complexion and with no flaws. Like, show up as your true honest self, how you are right here in the moment, and I promise, like, what's meant to align and those who are meant to find you and receive what you have to offer and give, like, listen, it's just gonna make all the sense, okay? And I'm talking to myself as well, Jaleesa'Kayla. Yes, I'm talking to you. I appreciate you for stepping out on a limb. Like I said, the first time I thought I was gonna come on here live with y'all would be in a content studio. Have everything written down, have all my bullet points, be way more clear, not spend a whole bunch of time. How my shit looks is not how the next person's going to look, and it's not meant to, right? We're meant to be in alignment, but I'm not meant to mimic somebody else's journey, and nobody's meant to mimic mine. We can pull from each other, but it's going to look different. Look within yourself instead of looking around and out, okay? Tune to yourself, tune to the Most High, and listen. yeah, that's basically it, y'all. But thank you all. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time and you've made it here, thank you so much. Thank yourself, because I trust that you got something from this, or else you wouldn't have stayed this long, right? And I thank you for everyone who has been listening and you decided to tune into this video. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you who have been liking, commenting, subscribing to the podcast. Okay.